Namaste everyone, hope all of you are well. Today we are going to start the topic called alkynes because till the previous lecture we have completed single bond, double bond preparations, physical chemical properties and uses. This topic will be based on alkynes. Alkynes means carbon-carbon triple bond. Carbon-carbon triple bond, you know. Carbon can contain alkane, carbon can contain alkenes, and this is called alkynes. Have you heard the word alkynes? Alkynes means carbon-carbon triple bond. So you can understand that if carbon-carbon triple bond is there, then what will be the general formula of this? General formula will be CN H2n minus 2. Right? Especially if n is equal to 2, right? We'll get a compound called ethyne, carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-carbon triple bond and one hydrogen. So this is called ethyne. The general name of this compound is acetylene. Acetylene. This acetylene is the most important compound of alkyne. It is used in the welding purposes. You will see while the welding, the flame which you are getting, that is the oxyacetylene. Means when this acetylene is treated with oxygen, you get oxy flame off. This oxy flame is being used in welding. You may have seen that while doing welding that laborers are wearing some specs, special type of specs, or they are using some helmets by which that oxy flame should not go inside their ears. So the main compound of this ethyne is acetylene. As if you take N is equal to 3, what will be the name of this compound? Can anybody tell me what will be the name of this compound? The name of this compound is propyne or prop1-ine, right? As you increase the value of N's, you will get different. At least one triple bond should be there in this propene. Means alkynes have at least one triple bond. These are also unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons, you know very well, a carbon in which double and triple bond is there. So that's called unsaturated hydrocarbons. Here also, between the two carbon atoms, there are triple bonds. So that's why it's known as alkynes. General formula CnH2n minus 2. As you move, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5, n is equal to 6, you'll get different. Just suppose here if I am taking n is equal to 4. So what will happen? Only one carbon will have triple bond. Remember this word, dear students. So the formula will be here CnH2n minus 2. So here you can see here C3H4. The molecular formula of propyne is C3H4. If I talk about the molecular formula of butane, the molecular formula will be C4 and H6 CnH2n minus 2. So these are the general alkynes name. You can write their IUPAC nomenclature, you can go through the isomers also. Before moving towards that, I would like to just say you about the structure of alkynes. Okay? So if you are writing the IUPAC nomenclature, then you should remember the words, especially isomers, chain and position. If there will be, just I am giving you some of the examples of IUPAC nomenclature. So you should not forget this word IUPAC nomenclature because we have studied in alkanes and alkenes also. So we have to study in alkynes, right? So here you can go through it. Just suppose here I am taking 4 carbon atoms, and between these 4 carbon atoms triple bond is here one hydrogen and here one hydrogen. So you can see here 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So the IUPAC name of this compound, since 4 carbons are there, if I count from here 1 2 3 4, the triple bond is on second position. So the name of this compound will be but2ine or 2-butynes, or you can write 2-butyne. Got it? Just suppose if I am giving you another example, I will see nomenclature. Here one CH3 group is there. Here one CH3 group is there. Here carbon is there, and this carbon will have triple bond, and here one more. So here you have to write the names of this compound. Can you tell me what will be the name of this compound? IUPAC nomenclature. Many of the students will confuse in this IUPAC nomenclature. They will just count this CH3 also. But I am talking about here. I will start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The longest chain, 7 carbon atom. Given priority to the triple bond. So 7 carbon atom is known as half chain, right? In which on the 5th position it is having methyl. 5 methyl, right? 5 methyl hept, 5 methyl hept 2-ine. So by this way you can write IUPAC nomenclature, and you have to prefix, suffix. As we are writing the nomenclature of the organic compounds, we have to follow the same rule and regulations. If I talk about the isomers, see here, if the same is haptene, if I have just put a isomers of this haptene, means if I just talk about here, CH3, okay, here I have. This is the isomers of this hept2. It was a 5-methyl hept2ine, but here it will be 5,5-dimethyl hex2ine. The name of this compound will be 5,5-dimethyl, 5,5-dimethyl hex2ine. Hex. So this is the isomers of the previous compound. So IUPAC nomenclature and isomers, I hope all of you know. So no need to worry about that. Now the main topic called structure of this acetate. What is the difference in the alkanes, alkenes and alkynes? The structure will elaborate all the things, right? Structure. Generally you will see here, this is the structure of acetylene, or you can say ethyl, right? In which you can mention here, this is hydrogen, 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bonds, and here also sigma and sigma. Generally if you count sigma and pi, so you say carbon, 1 sigma, carbon, 2 pi, carbon, hydrogen, 2 sigma. So these are the number of sigma and pi bonds in ethyl or acetylene, you can say. But this is not sufficient. Here you have to draw the structures of carbon, hydrogen, right? As you know, hydrogen structure is spherical, right? And here it is P block elements, and P block elements have dumbbell structure, right? P block elements has dumbbell structure, and S block elements have spherical structure. So here headwise overlapping is there. So here this you can see carbon and hydrogen. This is S block, this is P block. So sp1 sp sigma bonding, right? And here also pp headwise overlapping, 1 sigma bonding. And here this one I am talking about, this is also 1 sigma bond. So here this is sp hybridizations between the carbon and hydrogen atoms, sp and px hybridization between the carbon atoms for sigma bond. But if you talk about the pi bondings, then so first of all you have to draw the structures like headwise in px, py and pz. Got it? Px, py and pz. So px structure is already I have drawn here. This is the px structure, okay? So this is the px one, px overlapping, headwise overlapping, and this one. Otherwise you can say this is a sigma bond, so here pz, not px, okay? Px and py will be there. Here this is px, so this will be also px. This is py, so this will be also py. Similarly, this px, so this is also px, this is also px, this is py, and this is also py. So here the bond which attract between the two carbon atoms, this is pi bond. And between this two also, this is also pi. Similarly, here also you can say px and px. This is px, right? So this is pi bonding, this is pi bonding. You will say, sir, you have written 4 pi. Students, you have to just understand carbon atomic number 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 electronic configuration. Carbon atomic number 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 electronic. So here in both the p orbitals, what you will see, there are 2 electrons in the p orbital, that is px, py and pz. In the px and py, one electrons are there, both the carbon atoms will have. So here in the pz, this one is the headwise overlapping of pz, it will give you a sigma bond, and this px and py, and the lateral or sidewise overlapping, it will give you a pi bond. So that's why I have shown you here these 2 are the. Means if you talk about hybridization, so here between the carbon and hydrogen atom it is having sp hybridization, and we have learned that carbon-carbon triple bond is having sp hybridizations, carbon-carbon double bond is having sp2 hybridization, and carbon-carbon single bond is having sp3 hybridization, right? We have remembered this thing. So this is general structure. Yeah, one more thing I would like to say here, that if you talk about bond enthalpy, yes, if you talk about bond enthalpy, here carbon, between the carbon and carbon atom, this both the nucleus attraction. Just suppose here this and this. Bond length will be shorter, right? Bond length will be shorter means it is closer to the nucleus. So as it is closer to the nucleus, so the bond enthalpy will be maximum in ethyl. If we talk about triple bond enthalpy, it is approximately 834 joule. I think so, like that only. I am giving you the confirmed number, that is 823. Bond enthalpy is 823. How much? The bond enthalpy of ethyl molecule is 822. If I talk about and ethane, can you tell me what will be the bond enthalpy? Here, approximately 681 and 348. 681 and 348 kilojoule per mole. So you can see here the reason between the highest bond enthalpy in this alkyne is because all the 3 bonds have shorter bond length. Now if I talk about bond length also, dear students, bond length, right? So here the bond length between the carbon-carbon triple atom, carbon-carbon double bond, and carbon-carbon single. All of you know the single bond, I think 154, right? We have studied in alkane topics, that was 154 for single bond, 133 for double bond, and 120 picometer, 133 picometer, and 154. This is the carbon-carbon's bond length. So you can see here, bond length between the acetylene is shortest than ethene and ethane. So we compare, when we have to break this bond, we have to give maximum amount of energy, that is 823 kilojoule per mole for ethyl molecule, 681 kilojoule per mole for ethene molecule, and for ethene it's 340. So the reason to understand this all, it's a very important topic, that while we are studying these things in ethyl or alkynes, it's very important to know here that between the carbon and carbon atoms, here there is a cylindrical symmetrical structure. Why cylindrical symmetrical structure? Because the electron clouds between the carbon is max. So here, as px, py and pz, this 3 bonds, 2 pi and 1 sigma, so electron clouds are here. Electrons clouds are towards this triple bonds, and there is a cylindrically symmetrical structure. Got it, everyone? So this was the structure of. Any doubt till here? If you have doubt, then please drop your doubt in the comment box. Now we are moving towards preparations. Yes, preparations of alkynes. Generally, there is only 2 methods for preparations of alkynes. We have studied more and more in alkenes and alkanes, yes, but here we have to study only and only 2 methods. One from calcium carbide, another vicinal dihalides. Here just suppose, dear student, no need to worry. Now we are talking about preparations method of preparations method. Now if I talk about preparation method, you know preparation method means how to prepare acetylene or alkene, KYL. Yes. So as I have said you that we have to do preparation. This is the industrial large scale amount. So first of all, we have to obtain calcium carbide. How this calcium carbide will be obtained? From the calcium carbonate. As we heat to calcium carbonate, what we get? Calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Right? We get these 2 compounds, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This calcium oxide is known as quicklime, right? All of you know very well. Now this calcium oxide is treated with coke. Industrial scale we are making coke, you know, carbon. So as we treat this calcium oxide with coke, it gives you CaC2. This is called calcium carbide. What is called? Calcium carbide and carbon monoxide. So you have got calcium carbide with the help of calcium carbonate. Now this calcium carbide is treated with water. Calcium carbide is treated with water. What you will get it? Here you will get calcium hydroxide and C triple bond CH. This is called ethyne. So here the preparations of alkyne, you can see here what you have done with from calcium carbide. You can write here from calcium carbide. From calcium carbide. How you will obtain calcium carbide? You can see first of all. So we have seen here that how we have prepared calcium carbide to ethene, right? So this was the most important topic, and I hope all of you have seen also. So here calcium carbonate is heated, we get a quicklime and carbon dioxide. This quicklime is treated with this charcoal carbon. We have got coke carbon, so we have got calcium carbide and carbon monoxide. This calcium carbide is treated with water, you get calcium hydroxide and ethyne. So this was the first preparation method of ethyne molecules. Now second is from vicinal dihalides. You must know what is vicinal dihalides. I hope all of you have remembered ethene. So in the ethene we have heard this word, that vicinal dihalides, right? Just suppose here that 1,2-dibromoethane. Have you heard this word? This is called vicinal dihalides. So when this will be treated with alcoholic KOH, remember alcoholic KOH, what will happen? Can you tell me what will happen? This KOH will break into K plus and OH minus, right? K plus and OH minus. This K plus and Br minus will combine, and this H plus and OH minus will combine. So what will happen? Here you will get a product called 1-bromoethene. What you will get? 1-bromoethene, and you will get potassium, bromide and water. So these two are the byproducts. Now this bromoethene is treated with sodamine, NaNH2. This is called sodamine. What is called? Sodamine. So when this ethene bromide or bromoethene is treated with sodium bromide, so here Na plus and NH2 minus, this Na plus will combine with Br minus, so you will get sodium bromide will remove, and here it will get H and ammonia. So this both remove and you will get your main product, that is acetylene. So this is also the preparation method of acetylene from vicinal dihalides. From vicinal dihalides also we can prepare ethene. So here you can see that 1,2-dibromo treated with alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH breaks into K plus OH minus, and here 1,2-dibromoethane, so Br minus and K plus attach with each other and it gives KBr, and this H plus and OH minus attach and it gives you H2O, and here you get 1-bromoethene. When this 1-bromoethene is treated with sodamine, NaNH2, it breaks into Na plus and NH2 minus. This Na plus and Br minus gives you sodium bromide, and this NH2 and H gives you ammonia, and you get a main product called acetylene. Acetylene or ethene, its IUPAC name is ETHY and ethyne, right? So we have done the preparations method of alkene. There are two preparation methods from calcium carbide and vicinal dihalides. So this was the preparation method of alkynes. Now we are moving towards the properties of alkyne, right? So preparation method we have seen from calcium carbide and vicinal dihalides. With these two methods, acetylene, or you can say ethyne, can be prepared. Preparations. After preparation, we'll move towards the property. What are the properties of alkyne? Properties can. So first property, we specially go through the physical states. It is solid, liquid, gas. So first three ethyne, physical state. Okay. First thing, physical state. First three alkynes. First three alkynes are gas. Okay, remember these words, dear students. First three alkynes are gas. Next 8 alkynes are liquid. Rest onwards solids. Right? Physical state we have seen about the which physical states, means either they are solid, they are liquid, or they are gaseous. So first three means ethyne, propyne and butane. These three will be in the gaseous form. Next 8 alkynes means after butane till 12 it will be in the liquid form, and C15 onwards. So you will see after, as we move C13 one, that acetylene form means triple bond, one triple bond on the C13th carbon atom. From rest onwards all are solids. Now we are moving towards color and order. All alkynes are colorless. All alkynes are colorless, and all alkynes are odorless also, but except one thing, except C2H2 means acetylene, except acetylene. Acetylene has some smell, so except acetylene. Now all alkynes are weak polar. All alkynes are weak polar. Next, solubility, we say all alkynes are immiscible in water, but miscible in organic solvents as benzene, carbon tetrachloride, etc. Right? And if we talk about the melting point and boiling point, melting point, boiling point, and densities of alkynes increases with that increasing molar mass. With that increasing molar mass. Now these are the physical properties. Physical properties, first of all, you have to write about the three physical states: solid, liquid and gas. Then you have to talk about the color. After that you have to talk about the odor and smell. Except acetylene, all the alkynes are colorless and odorless. They are weak polars. And here if we talk about the polarity, they are weak polar. Miscible, or solubility, if we talk about the solubility, they are immiscible in water and miscible in organic solvents like benzene, carbon tetrachloride. Melting point and boiling point, as how this melting point and boiling point will increase as the number of carbon atoms will be increased. So ethene and propene, propene and butene. So propene melting point will be less than butene. Butene will be less than pentene. So why, and remember, pentynes, butynes, ethynes. So less number of carbon atoms will have less melting point and boiling points, and more number of carbon atoms attached with triple bond will have more melting point, boiling point and density. So this was physical properties. Now we will move towards chemical properties. What is chemical properties? Generally we have learned about the chemical properties means the reactions. Here first of all, first point in chemical properties is acidic in nature. Why alkynes are acidic in nature? Dear students, you know alkynes means triple bond carbon and hydrogen. All the carbon will not have sp hybridizations. So remember, if I am talking about ethyne, here both are sp hybridization. But if I talk about propyne you will see this only one carbon atom is attached with hydrogen, the rest will have sp3 hybridization, right? So here, since carbon atom is attached with hydrogen atom and this is having sp hybridization, sp hybridization means 50% s character. 50% s character means electronegativity increases. As the electronegativity increases, this hydrogen ion can be dissociated easily because 50% S character and 50% P character. So that's why here the hydrogen ion can be displaced. So if I talk about this property, alkenes and alkanes don't have. So here acidic in nature, if we talk about, so alkynes are greater than alkenes and alkenes are greater than alkanes, acidic in nature. But if we talk about alkynes only, so as we move towards the alkyne, just suppose here I have taken ethyne will be greater than propyne. Got it? Ethyne will be greater than propyne and propyne will be greater than butane. Or you can say here, you can just attach CH3 group here, triple bond. Here it is a butane only. So remember dear students, all the hydrogen atoms do not have sp hybridization as I have said you. Here only one triple bond is there. So one triple bond means the hydrogen which is attached to the carbon, triple bond, that will give you the sp hybridization, and that sp hybridization has high electronegativity and 50% S character. So that's why they are highly acidic in nature in comparison to alkenes and alkenes. Now, if we are treating this alkenes with chemical properties, now first reaction I am just suppose here this is ethyne, right? If we do reactions with hydrogen, right? Here if you do reactions with hydrogen, what you will get? Can you tell me? If you just add hydrogen in this, in the presence of nickel, palladium and platinum, what you will get it? Can you tell me? You will get ethene. If you have remembered ethene to ethyne, then you can tell me easily, right? So from ethene to ethyne, can you do it or not? So this is the first chemical reaction that I am saying to you, that how this chemical reaction will work. Now I will talk that if I do reactions of this ethyne with sodium metal, what will happen? Can you tell me? What will happen? Just suppose we are not, I have just shown you that if I am doing reaction with hydrogen, if I do reaction with sodium, because sodium is highly electro positive, so what will happen? This hydrogen will be removed and sodium ethanamide Sorry. Here carbon, carbon, here sodium will be attached and half hydrogen gas will be removed. This hydrogen will be removed as a half hydrogen. Now this part, again I am taking here. This is called monosodium ethyl, or you can say monosodium ethyl. Now this monosodium ethyl is again treated with sodium. Again treated with sodium. So what will happen? So here again mono will convert into di, and your half hydrogen gas will be right. So what here? Disodium ethyl. So this word you have to remember, that when you are treating ethyls with sodium, what you will get? Dear students, remember this reaction. So here you will get monosodium ethanide and disodium ethanide. Now this disodium ethanide will be removed. How it will be removed, you know? When you just do the reaction with sodium or sodamide. Have you heard the word sodamide? Sodamide. Sodamide means, just suppose here I have taken a ethyl. If I just do the same reactions, propene. Propene is treated with sodamide, NaNH2. This is called sodamide. So what will happen? Can everybody see me? Here CH3, C. Here sodium will be there. Na will be here, and again here, yes, the reaction will be converted into sodium propamide. What you will get a reaction? That is sodium propamide. Now just one thing I want to tell you, when the sodium breaks, that will breaks into Na plus and NH2 minus, right? Na plus and NH2 minus. This Na plus and NH2 minus means, you know, cation and anion. Where the cation will shift and where the anion will shift, can you tell me? This cation and anion will shift towards the carbon triple bond. It will call sodium propanide. What it will call? Sodium propanide. Means here, see, as we have done the reaction now, similarly you don't have to do the reaction. Here just suppose this carbon is triple bond carbon, and here it is triple. And here the hydrogen, it will receive this hydrogen and you will get ammonia. Sodium propamide. So disodium ethanol. Monosodium ethanol. So these were the reactions with sodium to ethanol. Right? This was the reactions of sodium to ethanol. And the next reaction is additions of, that's called addition reaction. Addition reaction means here you are adding something to ethyl. So different things you will get. Right? Now we'll move specially that. Next one is addition reaction. All additions reaction we will see. Why? Because here you can see the triple bonds will break. Now in the chemical properties we have to learn about addition reaction. क्या होता है addition reaction? Can you tell me? Addition reaction का मतलब हो गया when you are just removing these hydrogens, कार्बन कार्बन के बीच में ये जो ट्रिपल बॉन्ड है इसको रिमूव करने के लिए आप क्या सब कर सकते हो. जैसे मान लो अगर मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बताया था, अगर हम इसको एडिशंस ऑफ हाइड्रोजन करेंगे इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ प्लैटिनम, पैलेडियम और निकेल, तो ये क्या बन जाएगा आपका प्लैटिनम पैलेडियम, ये है आपका अल्कीन बन जाएगा. राइट? अल्कीन को वापस तुम हाइड्रोजन के साथ रिएक्शन करो इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ प्लैटिनम, पैलेडियम और निकेल, तो ये तुम्हारा क्या बन जाएगा? अल्केन्स बन जाएगा. मतलब अगर ट्रिपल बॉन्ड में हम हाइड्रोजन को ऐड करते हैं तो ये डबल बॉन्ड और सिंगल. अब आ जाओ एडिशंस ऑफ हैलोजेंस। अगर मान लो यहाँ पर हमारा ट्रिपल बॉन्ड CH, अगर हम यहाँ पर Br2 के साथ रिएक्शन करते हैं इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ CCl4 तो क्या बनेगा पता है तुमको? ये दो बॉन्ड जो है यहाँ पर ब्रोमीन वाला जो बॉन्ड था तो एक तुम्हारा Br के साथ अटैच हो जाएगा और दूसरा भी क्या होगा Br के साथ, तो 1,2-डाइब्रोमोइथीन हो जाएगा। वापस अगर इस 1,2-डाइब्रोमोइथीन को हम वापस Br2 के साथ रिएक्शन करेंगे तो ये क्या बन जाएगा 1,1,2,2-टेट्राब्रोमोइथेन, 1,1,2,2-टेट्राब्रोमोइथेन। बात समझ रहे हो? हमने क्या किया? एडिशन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन, एडिशन रिएक्शंस यहाँ पर इथाइन शो कर रहा है, एडिशंस ऑफ हैलोजन, एडिशंस ऑफ हैलोजन हैलाइड करेंगे तो क्या होगा? हैलाइड मतलब समझिए HX, HX का मतलब हो गया H और X, तो क्या हो जाएगा एक के ऊपर में तुम्हारा हाइड्रोजन और एक के ऊपर में हैलोजन हो जाएगा। तो मतलब यहाँ पर इथीन वाला पहले ग्रुप बनेगा जिसमें एक के ऊपर में हाइड्रोजन चला जाएगा, दूसरे के ऊपर में X बन जाएगा। तो ये तुम्हारा हो जाएगा मतलब अल्काइल हैलाइड्स का फॉर्मेशन करेगा। वापस अगर तुम करोगे, अगर सेम रिएक्शंस वापस करना चाहते हो तो तुम्हारा 1,1-डाइहैलाइड्स, डाइअल्काइल हैलाइड्स बन जाएंगे। बात समझ में आया? तो ये सारा एडिशन रिएक्शंस हमको याद रखना है। जैसे कि मैंने तुम लोगों को बताया था स्टार्टिंग में कि जो एसिटिलिक है वो वाटर के साथ नहीं होता है, लेकिन अगर हम मर्क्यूरिक सल्फेट और थोड़ा सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड मिला करके करें तो ये जो है मतलब जो रिएक्शंस विद वाटर जो है थोड़ा करें। बस इतना याद रखना है कि जनरली ये नहीं करता है, लेकिन अगर हम इसको इसके प्रेजेंस में मर्क्यूरिक सल्फेट HTSO4 और H2SO4 के प्रेजेंस में अगर हम इसको वाटर के साथ रिएक्शन करेंगे तो क्या बनेगा पता है? Hg2+ और H+, ये तुम्हारा हो जाएगा 337 केल्विन के प्रेजेंस में हीट करना है तुमको। तो ये एक जगह ये तुम्हारा H+ और एक जगह OH-, तो ये अटैच हो जाएगा यहाँ पर, एक के पास चला जाएगा H+ और दूसरे के पास क्या चला जाएगा OH-। तो यहाँ पर कार्बन ये दो बॉन्ड जो है तुम्हारे एक्स्ट्रा हो जाएंगे H और यहाँ पर डबल बॉन्ड वापस H और यहाँ पर। तो ये जो फॉर्मेशंस है ये स्पेशली मर्क्यूरस सल्फेट HgSO4 और हाई टेम्परेचर 337 केल्विन के ऊपर में शो करता है। ये था रिएक्शंस विद वाटर। इसके बाद लास्ट रिएक्शंस है हमारा वो है पॉलीमराइजेशन। जनरली जैसे हम लोग याद करो इथीन को पॉलीथीन बनाना, ठीक उसी प्रकार से यहाँ पर भी आप लोगों को जो पॉलीमराइजेशन रिएक्शन होगा ये दो तरह के होते हैं पॉलीमराइजेशन, एक साइक्लिक और दूसरा स्ट्रेट चेन वाला। तो स्ट्रेट चेन वाले में आप लोगों को बस याद रखना है इस तरीके से होगा आपका, इसको जब पॉलीमराइज करोगे तो वापस आपका इसी तरीके से 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 पॉलीअल्काइन्स। तो ये था हमारा केमिकल रिएक्शन। चलिए आज के लिए बस इतना ही। नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम लोग इसके जो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज है उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे। थैंक यू वेरी मच।